The air I breathe has been breathed before.
Each particle of life-giving air has particles of each life it touched. The walls I touch have been touched before, each hand leaving a mark of who they were. And once we are gone, the floors I have walked on will be walked on again, the walls repainted, a life forgotten with a stroke of a brush, but still alive in every air we breathe. Nothing else but pure consciousness, with a singular isness of blissfulness, no time or space or body or mind, every aspect of identity left behind.
They say that living through a home renovation is like living in the wild. You have to do whatever it takes to survive. Now, whilst this is a bit dramatic, we would find out soon enough the truth behind this statement. You join us on our first day at our new house. We'd driven 7 hours that morning, picked up the keys and arrived at the property at around 5 p.m. Once we arrived at the house, we were so excited we spent time looking around and seeing what was left behind. And let me tell you, there was a lot of things left behind. One of the reasons this house was so cheap is that sadly the previous owner of the house had died some years back. As a result, the house had only been used occasionally by family members who had visited on holidays, or every now and then just to check in on the property. This meant that when they sold the house, they left a lot of things behind for an easier sale and just kept a few sentimental belongings. Now obviously there are some pros and cons to this for us. Pros, the house was much cheaper. There were a lot of useful tools and materials left behind which we were able to use. And there were some really nice old pieces of furniture and items which had been well looked after and left behind. Cons? Well, we had to work out what was useful and what was clutter or broken. And before we could start renovating anything, we had to move and sort a lot of things. And yep, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, this was everything a man had acquired in his life. All on this property, in various storage compartments and outbuildings. And I mean, it makes sense. We're in the far north of Sweden. It's not always easy to access things, and the weather can make it a difficult climate to live in at times. And I'm sure it would have been even more difficult over his lifetime, because things have gotten a lot more convenient now. So it makes sense that he kept all of these things, just in case he had to fix something or make something, just in case. Before we carry on, if you haven't seen our previous videos, make sure you go back and watch them so you can understand the context of how we got to this place, how we ended up buying this house, and you'll understand the whole journey much more. Also, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know as soon as we upload the next part of this journey. And why not hit the like button whilst you're there, because it really helps us out. Thank you also to everyone who has welcomed us to this lovely country. We're very happy to be here. It's been humbling to be welcomed so kindly by so many of you. So day one. As we said, we arrived at the property at 5 p.m, so it was already quite late. We had two priorities, somewhere clean to sleep and somewhere clean to eat. I set about clearing the living room downstairs, which we planned to use as a bedroom. This was mainly because it was actually one of the cleanest rooms under all the clutter, and there was already a bed in there. Bonus! In the meantime, Naomi set about giving the kitchen a really deep clean, cleaning the fridge and some of the pots and pans that were handily left behind for us, as well as getting rid of a lot of clutter and just generally making it a good, clean space to use.
What a day!
Oh, you're so out of focus. Hang on. It has been a long but productive and fun day. Naomi has done wonders with the kitchen. We're just about to sit down and have some food. Oh yeah, look, this is cute, isn't it?
How do you turn these on?
I'm trying to open these and I'm like, how do you turn these on?
This room looks so much different. So when we arrived, what time did we arrive? Like 5 p.m. What time is it now? 1 a.m. So how long has that taken us? 8 hours? 7 hours? Day 2. So after the first night in our house and a good night's sleep, we woke up nice and early so we could head to the shops and get some supplies we needed. Everything from paint to bathroom supplies.
I do like this floor. I think white.
Yep.
Should we have it all this white then? Or is this just a boring?
To food and even to some impulse buys. What have we got in here, Nay?
We got a 65-inch smart TV.
What did we go in to buy from that shop?
To buy bread. We went to buy bread.
We've also got, what else have we got? Come on, talk us through the whole car.
We got some plates.
Mm-hmm.
We were meant to buy bread.
Yeah, what else have we bought?
We bought a pan.
Yeah, what else?
We got some floors.
Yeah. Paint, sander, bathroom matting, which isn't in here. Many things. So, after a successful, albeit indulgent shopping trip, we headed back home and it was time for the real work to begin. Since we had gotten the downstairs in a livable condition, we decided we would start the serious work upstairs. We picked what we thought was the easiest bedroom and started work. First, of course, we had to empty it of everything that was left behind, and we had to sort the clutter from the treasures. There were actually quite a few fun things amongst there. In fact, the wardrobe we were able to repurpose, and the bed would go on to form part of our sofa, so stay tuned to see that. So whilst Naomi started on that, I had a rather important job to tackle, and that was our plumbing. Now, because this house had been largely unoccupied for a long time, the water system and plumbing needed a little bit of TLC, let's just say that. There was a bit of a blockage in the drains, so the toilets wouldn't flush very well. There was a lot of air in the system, so water didn't really flow out of the taps very well. We weren't getting hot water upstairs at all, and we weren't fully sure how it all worked. So my job was to tackle that. Once we'd got it empty, it was time to get the walls ready. And some of it came off easier than others. Now, our original plan was just to strip the wallpaper and paint it. But, like with all things, this didn't exactly go to plan. Now, it seemed that everyone who had renovated this house in the past 80 years had just decided to put wallpaper on top of more wallpaper on top of more wallpaper. So there was a good 4 or 5, maybe 6 layers of wallpaper across most of the walls. And then underneath that is this weird kind of soft board, which actually made it very difficult to remove the wallpaper because when you steam it, it just gets all soggy and wet. Oh my word, look at all the condensation on the ceiling.
Jo, absolut. Det är som den som vi snackade om innan, att typ såhär foten hänger över sängen.
A nice big piece.
Du måste ha täcke.
Yeah, I'm trying to need
annars kan någon ta det också. Det var en annan
It wasn't there.
Såna grejer. Och sen...
It's a shame the other wall isn't like this. So that was kind of problematic. So whilst we'd originally hoped we could just strip the wallpaper back and then paint it, it became clear that there were so many different types of surfaces and textures underneath that wasn't going to happen. So we had to come up with another plan. But we decided that was a problem for tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning!
What's the date today, Naomi?
The 25th of July! We are living in mess.
As you will see. This room needs to be painted, but for now this is the room that we're using as like a base. So it's got everything everywhere. So as we had our morning coffees, we discussed our plan for the day. We woke up nice and early so we could fit as much work in as possible. We decided that in the afternoon I would head into our local builder's merchant to try and find something we could use to cover up the walls upstairs so we could then paint on top of it. In the meantime, we decided to just get cracking on the kitchen and get that ready for painting. So this is the room ready to sand the cupboards, and then once we've sanded the cupboards down, well, I say ready, It's almost ready. These are the cupboards, so we're going to sand them down. Sadly, they were going to take a long time to take off because the hinges have been painted over. This is the one we tried to take off. But like, here's one before. They've been painted over so many times that it was going to take ages to take off, and we have a lot to do. Still need to clean the insides. So we're going to do it as it is. It's a lovely big bright kitchen. So we're going to paint these like a nice dark grey and this black. So yeah, let's go. So I just thought should take some safety precautions. Okay, so I've just finished sanding down all of these cupboards. The next job is clean up and get ready for painting. So, after having made a great start in the kitchen, I left to go to the builder's merchant before they closed so I could try and find something to cover over the walls upstairs ready for painting. In the meantime, Naomi carried on prepping the kitchen.
Just cleaning a really disgusting cupboard, but I'm just so happy because it's my cupboard. I'm cleaning this for myself. You know, when you rent a place, you're like, damn, I'm cleaning this. And then you leave and then you have to clean another cupboard. But this is my cupboard. God, this is everything. To clean my own cupboard. This is what is helping me get through the day. And all this hard work because it's ours. Our home. So blessed. 2020 has been crazy. But in that we found love and joy, and we found creative ways to make this world a little bit better for ourselves. And I love this house. I love this kitchen. I love the seclusion. We're away from every single person. That's our little barn in the background. And we have just beautiful views. Beautiful, beautiful views. God, it's so good to be home.
Sometimes being poor makes you super creative. I mean, we're from London, we're students. The last thing we would have thought of is buying a house in Lapland. But when you don't have a lot of money, you have a lot of creativity and you find yourself in magical places. So always be grateful for where you are in life. So, major update. The floor is leaking. Oh no! What are we gonna do?